Hi guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a read for Pisces. I'm going to just jump into it and get started here with my oracle cards. We'll see what messages the universe has in store for you today. Oh, and already they're jumping out of my hands, so time to get started, I guess. So let's see what we got. We got stand your ground. We got trapped in fear. We have recognition and reward, transformation, and emotional withdrawal. So, to me, this read is already feeling like it's feeling like a path in personal growth, and you taking your power back and being assertive and taking back control of your life. I'm going to pull a few more cards and just keep building on this. So I got solitude, I got positive movement forward, I got material and spiritual prosperity. I got the base chakra, which it can speak to your physical body. It can also speak to money as well. And discontent and boredom. So I feel like definitely going through a time in your life, probably coping with depression and anxiety. And I think you're getting tired of living that way. I think you have either decided to make a change and start doing some self-care and taking yourself back, or you are in the process of it. I feel like you're already in the process of it because the positive movement forward card. I'm going to keep drawing some cards and building on this story here. So I'm not entirely sure, from what I got so far, what got you to this place. I almost wonder with that base chakra, because it speaks to the physical body, if maybe it's not clinical depression. Maybe something you've been wrestling with for a while. So it's not entirely situational. There might be something else going on there as well. Oh, and the cards are starting to jump out of my hands. So I'm feeling like the universe is wanting me to get started here. So let's keep building on this and see what we got. So I have a few cards here, but the Empress is the one that stands out to me the most in this draw. I'm getting a strong message from her. It's a nurturing message. It's a nurturing and healing message of looking after yourself, nurturing yourself, and healing yourself. The Ace of Pentacles, to me, speaks of a new beginning. I have the Six of Swords, which speaks of moving from a stormier time in your life into a quieter, calmer one. And I think that goes along with this change that you're making, this transformation. I got the Knight of Swords, and to me he feels like chaos. That's just the word that I get when I look at him. I get chaos. I have the King of Wands here. When I look at him, I see a really fiery, hot energy too. Very charged. I see the Ten of Wands, which speaks to feeling overwhelmed. The Ten of Swords, which speaks to disappointing endings. to a situation, something working out or ending in a way that you didn't expect it to. But the thing about the Ten of Swords, and you can see the light along with the swords. So the light represents that even though this didn't work out the way you wanted it to, it worked out the way it was supposed to, and the way that's actually going to benefit you in the long run. I have the Hermit, which speaks to introspection. It speaks to self-growth as well. I have the Death card, which speaks to transition, and it speaks to what was in your path coming to a clear end. So definitely moving forward with a new chapter of your life as well. I have the Temperance card, which speaks to a balance between your emotions and your logic. And I think that this card speaks to the depression and the anxiety that you've been going through. The really negative feelings that a negative mindset too, because of these emotions that you've kind of been trapped in. And I think it's a warning card against letting that take over and getting stuck in that, as opposed to looking at your situation from a logical point of view. I also see the Seven of Cups, which speaks to multiple choices and choosing wisely. Okay, there we go. I was wondering. So I got it right next to the Lovers card, and I just wasn't entirely sure what that meant. And then right as I got to the two of those cards, I drew the Devil card. So to me, okay. So to me, this is what it speaks of. It speaks of you rushing into a new relationship that might be destructive in the long run. Not choosing your partner carefully, and not doing the self-care and the self-work that you need to do to get yourself in a place where you can have a functional relationship. Because I feel like you're working through it, but you haven't come out the other side yet. You're still struggling with the negative emotions here. So I feel like this is probably not the best time for you to get into a new relationship. I feel like you're going to attract the wrong kind of person. So I would definitely, I would be leery of that. I would recommend taking the time to look after yourself and build yourself up before you start looking at becoming a partner with somebody. I have the Three of Cups, which usually speaks to celebrating, but to me, when I look at this one, all I can think of is filling up your cup. So filling up your emotional cup, the healing that comes from that as well. I have the Hierophant here, and to me, in this one, he speaks of a higher learning, and to me, it's a learning about yourself. It all reflects on personal growth to me. I have the Fool card here as well, and the Fool card tends to speak of it can speak of a couple different things. It can speak of taking a leap of faith. It can speak of looking at the world in a new light. Kind of as if you're seeing things for the first time, and everything has this positive magic about it, almost going back to a time like when you were a child, and everything just seemed so new and so positive and so great. And I also got the Six of Cups, which is a blast from the past. So you can see a couple of children on there, and I actually think that the Six of Cups ties into the Fool, and sort of reiterating that message of sort of trying to look at your world in a new way and changing your outlook, because sometimes we get so lost in a negative way of thinking that without even trying any situation that we look at, the first thing we do is find a negative in it. And you actually actively have to work at changing that and seeing positives instead of negatives. And I think that's what these cards speak of. I think they speak of the work that you need to do and the changing of the mindset. So I got the Seven of Wands here as well. I got it in the same line with the Eight of Wands, the Three of Swords. I'm going to show you. So the Seven of Wands, to me, is like the stand your ground card. It's sort of it's telling you to be more assertive and stand up for yourself and your ideals. The Eight of Wands speaks of communication. And right next to that, I got the Three of Swords with the tends to stand for separation. I think in this case, they speak to you being assertive enough to separate yourself from negativity, from any possible sort of negative influences in your life. And I think the Seven of Wands ties into the Eight of Wands. Is that communication. It's that saying it out loud. It's the taking your power back and not letting yourself get drawn into drama, into emotion, into negativity, like the negative emotions. Okay, so I got, I'm going to tell you the impression that I got from the cards here. I just drew like 3 queens in one go. To me, that speaks of a little group of people that may be actively being jerks to you. Being negative to you, kind of like I don't know, Mean Girls, I guess. And they might not necessarily be women, but it's this little cliquey group that is making trouble for you, I think. I also got the King of Cups here, and to me, I get the vibe off of him that he's trouble as well. He's emotional and he's manipulative. I feel like there's more than a few people around you who are sort of trouble. And I almost feel like they might even be drawn in by the negativity that you've been feeling. Remember what I said about choosing wisely, about jumping into a relationship, that the negative vibes are gonna bring in negative people. They're kind of like a beacon for moths. It's kind of like that light on your front porch, and all the bugs and the nastiness come flying towards it. I think that's what's going on here. This negativity, this negative way of thinking, these negative vibes that you're putting out are they're drawing in negative people and they're causing drama where there doesn't need to be. And I feel like you really need to separate yourself from these negative influences, and it might mean that might be where the Solitude card comes in, that while you're doing this self-work, you're gonna have to be extremely careful about who you have around you, and maybe really close your circle in to make sure that you're not getting those negative outer influences. Make sure that those mean girls aren't coming in there and making trouble for you. And I also got the Four of Swords, which to me in this reading, he speaks of taking a time out and not isolation, but I think it builds on the solitude. Taking that time for yourself, to get yourself in the right mindset. Because I think it's hard enough work as it is, but when you have a group of negative people around you, it makes it probably feel almost impossible. So I think you really need to tighten your circle on this one. I'm going to pull a few more of these cards and then some more of my oracles to help sort of sum up this read. Okay, so I have the Two of Swords here, and the Two of Swords tends to speak of trouble making decisions, maybe being blinded by emotions, hard time seeing truths. I think this also speaks of you changing the mindset of everything being negative and changing the way that you look at the world. I think you'll be able to see situations a lot more clearly once you change that outlook. The Nine of Wands speaks of it being a process to me, that this may take you a while to get on top of and really feel like you've come out the other end. It speaks of perseverance, and don't lose heart. You are headed in the right direction, and the Nine of Cups, and I got the Ten of Cups as well, which both speak of emotional abundance. Sure, your cup runneth over, right? And this one's also in the home life as well. So I think at the end of this, I think this speaks of not just doing the work, of being more positive, of changing your outlook on things, but I think it also speaks of building a positive network and support system around you, and cutting these negative people out. I think that's what those cards speak to. Okay, so I have conflict and defeat, movement, choices, decisions, victory, and success. So conflict and defeat, I think it speaks to a couple different things. I think it speaks to the length of the process, and there will be times where you feel like giving up, I think it's a warning to not give up. I also feel like it speaks to the Sacrifice card, and the Sacrifice card I feel like speaks to these mean girls, and this King of Cups is, I feel like you think these people are friends, and so you're gonna feel conflicted about cutting them out of the picture, but it is definitely for the best. The movement, choices, decisions speaks to this transition, this choice that you've made to try and change things in your life. And to me, the victory and success card feels like the universe's affirmation that yes, you have chosen the right path. Do not give up. This will work in your favor, and you will be better for it in the end. So you definitely have a road ahead of you. It won't always be easy, but keep that goal in mind. Keep that lighter, more positive sort of way of thinking. Keep plugging away at that. Try and look at your world in a different way. Positive things will start coming your way as well. And make sure that you're taking your time to care for yourself. You're putting yourself at the top of the list here. And tighten that circle so that you're cutting that negativity out of your life, because that's going to make this process 10 times harder. Alrighty guys, I hope that that was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, if it resonated with you, please feel free to comment because I would love to hear about it. Take care, guys.